Hello, everybody. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? Quishy My Draw. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Painting German's having a rough day. I'm sorry to hear that, Quishy. I understand. I think I can empathize a little bit. Probably not completely with your situation, but hopefully whatever's going on passes. You can paint some minis and I don't know, talk about hobby stuff for a couple hours if you want, if that'll help. Right. We're gonna get some washes down. Try 4 drops of each. We're gonna go 50-50 on here. I think video games helped really well. I looked at my phone, stopped playing because I got okay. Oh yeah, so maybe let's put the phone down for a little bit. You got as you're probably have me up on your phone, just keep the stream going and then paint some minis. What kind of Germans you working on? You're working on some like Flames of War stuff, right? I saw you posting that. Were those Germans? Panzer Grenadiers? Nice. Very cool. How many points do you have for them? 60-point Team Yankee game. Nice. Oh, okay, so it's Team Yankee stuff. It's not World War II. Very nice. That's really cool. I didn't even like realize that looking at them. Which is pretty silly. Four Leo 2s? They're 44 points just for your 60-point game. Just 4 leopards, that's it. Did you guys ever see the reel, or I don't know if it's like a TikTok thing or whatever, but it's a woman and her boyfriend like in a car, and she's like, hey babe, would you love me if I were a tank? And he's like, well, that depends on what kind of tank. What do you think it'd be, like a Leopard 2A7, or a Soviet T-34, and she's like, let's how about the first one? Yeah, Leopard. He's like, yeah, Leopard 287. He's like, yeah, well, if you were Leopard 287, I would ask you to marry me. And she's like, oh, really? You want to marry me? And he's like, that depends. Are you a Leopard 2A7? It's the dumbest humor. I got a good kick out of it, though. You have seen that? Yeah. I definitely feel like that would be in your algorithm, Quishy. The kind of games you play and stuff. Now to being updated points because I swore I was making lists. They lowered the cost of. Oh, since you made the list? Oh, okay. Or are they? Yeah, okay. So it might be cheaper. It's only 30. Dude, that's awesome. Hey, that means more minis on the table, right? Also means you have to paint more, but that's not what we care about when we're gaming. I didn't check a box. Okay. Hey, sorry. We're back. I don't know. Stream's being goofy again. I blame Restream 100%. Wondering Picked, thank you so much. 13 months. I appreciate that. How are you doing? How's your day going? Yeah, I think you did break it, Wondering Picked. Yes. Yep. It was your fault. Don't subscribe to my channel, guys, or it shuts the stream down. That's it. Or field manual style approach to points, and I haven't selected. Oh, they do. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they try to keep the game like balanced and competitive or whatever. Let it be known I did nothing. Restream doesn't like when I get money. It hates it. It hates it so much that when my stream starts doing well, it just like shuts it down. That's what's going on. Welcome in though, Wondering Picked. How are you doing? Oh man. I'm gonna be chilling this week painting. For a YouTube video I have recovering from a nasty cold. Ah, that's too bad. At least you're on the mend. You guys want to hear something like super vain and egotistical from me? I felt like a big. What you do? I feel much better. Oh, good, Quishy, good. Hey man, I'm just here to chill. I have had, you know, many traumatic events in my life, and those around me have had those, and I think sometimes, not every time, but sometimes when things are looking bad or people are struggling, I think sometimes what people need is just a good distraction, you know. And there are plenty of negative things to be focused on right now. Trust me, I know, I understand. But, you know, I am not here for anything particularly deep, alright? Unless you want to hear me rant about evil corporations and such, but, you know, we're here to chill and paint minis. And unless coerced, we're going to sit here and paint minis and talk about cool stuff and, you know, be a distraction, so. I had a friend, this was right after college. His mom passed away suddenly, and he had multiple siblings, but none of them were like very responsible. They were all much younger than him. He was the oldest one, so it was like all on his shoulders to do everything. And I remember he was like 20, 22, 23, something like that, and I remember where did we go? I think we went and spent the day at the where was it? Did we head out to like the Renaissance Fair was going on at the time, or like a convention or something? We just hung out for the day. And I remember he told me that, like, he said for like the entire, like for most of the afternoon he just forgot about what happened, and he said it was great. And I was like, yeah, I guess that can be a good distraction. You know, it's, if nothing else, I have no training and no licensing on actually helping people's mental health, but I can help you focus on something fun for a little bit. What else are you going to add to your Team Yankee army? Especially now since you have a bunch of extra points. You got more stuff to add. I gotta tell you guys about how my ego was inflated this morning. I wake up and I'm just kind of doing daily internet browsing, and one place I browse, there is a Horus Heresy subreddit where I'll look for like painted minis or just kind of see what people are talking about with the hobby and stuff. And I had seen someone asked the question about like if there are any, like what are some good like YouTube content creators to talk about the game and to learn about legions and stuff. And I got not one but two mentions in the comment thread, and I'm just gonna tell you guys, I felt like a true celebrity. Like just random conversation, and I see the Painting Dad being mentioned, and I thought it was great. So if that was one of you guys, thank you. But I don't know if I recognize any of the names. I'm the Thousand Suns guy. That's exactly what I always wanted. More infantry, extra transport, 3 ATGM carriers. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That game's very like mechanized, right? How good are like just infantry on foot? You don't bring infantry on foot, do you? Or is that like a viable thing? Is it just expensive or difficult to paint? What's the deal? Just hold objectives, that's all they do. A little harder to kill when they're in cover and everything. Oh, okay. Just home objective. Misfit, good morning. How are you doing? Let's get some washes down. And then while that's drying, we'll probably do a little more color, some different places. It'll be good. Good stuff coming. Let's see what I can't get done on these. 2 platoons of mechanized infantry, gotcha. I think next week I'll be back at it painting Thousand Suns. I'm looking forward to it. Kind of scared? Your opponent has T-80s? Well, if we know anything about reality at this point, I know game rules are different than reality, but I was just watching an interesting video analyzing how many T-80s Russia currently has left in storage, and they started with like almost 5,000 T-80s in storage, and they are down to like 120 or something verifiable in storage, and those are probably like the worst condition hulls. And the factory refurbishing them is not refurbishing tanks anymore. They're only using those T-80 hulls to release like support vehicles. Is what they see coming out of the factories and stuff. So crazy. Working on Chaos Knights. Nice, Misfit. You're just all over the place, aren't you, Misfit? Working on stuff. Guys, I shared a photo in the gaming news and rumors channel with a GWTs that is just wild. They had an article about the Dark Mechanicum in 30K, and they showed this photo of 28 mil scale their Ursarax, and then behind them is a full size like Spider Walker, like right there. Like it is 100% like a full scale mini, just teasing. It's crazy. Your uncle's a T-80 commander. That's really cool. Alright, we're going to get some black wash out. Try to be real cool here. Third key Tartars are the same size as Scarab Occult Terminators. I think they are. Yeah, the current ones are. Yeah, Night Trap. I have painted Scarab Occult Terminators, but I've never used them in my own army. I want a bunch of Tartarus Terminators, but I'm waiting for the updated minis to come out. And then maybe I'll get a box of Scarab Occult and make them all kind of work together. That's my goal, though. Best friends in the National Guard. Oh, okay, well. I already think ahead to next week. I think I have some. I'm going to paint a couple tanks. Probably my number one thing to do. And maybe some spare weapons for some different units that I own. Some spare dreadnought weapons and heavy weapons and stuff like that that I don't have painted yet. I think that might be kind of my next steps on my army. 2 of your ATGM infantry should be able to go through the front of a T-80. Nice. What are the ATGMs? Are they Milans or Carl Gustavs or? Milan 2s, yeah. From your phone because internet's down. Oh, lame. Nah, that's crazy. Hopefully it's not down too long. What's going on, Estrella?
First of all, let me take just a moment
Welcome
to thank
in.
you for allowing
War
me to
Tiger,
into your home.
welcome. How are you doing? Thank you for the follow. Alright, we got some washes down on that thing. Let's get the next one. Yeah, toes on the Jaguars. Okay, nice. Yeah, that game's all about anti-tank, isn't it? Favorite War Thunder memes the devs saying that T90 couldn't be pinned from the front, and some dude went to Ukraine and showed a T90 was pinned from the front. Yeah. I know War Thunder, its developers are Russian, right? And like that was like Russia's, like I remember their Air Force and their tanks in that game were just busted. Like they were the best by far. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about this, but I thought I remember reading that the people that actually developed the game and maintain it left Russia when the invasion started and are like they practically excommunicated from the country. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what happened with War Thunder. But the name, like something about the company name or something, is still in Russia and like I don't know, still trying to develop games or something. But yeah, that game treated I don't know if it still does, but yeah, Russian stuff like it's the end all be all. Same with World of Tanks. Yeah, World of Tanks it's another Russian developer, isn't it? All these games are made just to spread Russian propaganda. And speaking of the Ukraine war, it's the 4-year anniversary, right, of the invasion today. Crazy. Tarkov, super pro-Russian, even fought in Ukraine. Wow, okay, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Might be playing War Thunder tonight. Yeah, alright. I played it for a good week around Christmas. I got like a 7-day premium subscription because it's really expensive to subscribe to that game for any amount of time. But I did that and then played for a week and then literally went and visited family for a couple days and I was kind of just done with it for the time being. But that was fun. It's fun. Yeah, right after the Winter Olympics. Well, that was in 2014. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. And the Winter Olympics in 2022 were in China, weren't they? And the whole thing was he had a deal with Xi Jinping or whatever that he would wait till after the Winter Olympics to not like overshadow. A whole bunch of nonsense. Palette. Okay. I will paint one of them in illuminated palette. I haven't been to my PO box yet. I have to go get it. It's a little bit of a trek for me to get out there, so I either just like need a little chunk of time with with less going on, or I have to be like ready to ship some minis out and I'll go and grab it. But I'll grab them this week. My post office it's like really out of the way and not busy at all, so like they don't care if things sit there. I don't know if it's a normal post office thing to like they like yell at you when you keep things in a post office or in a box for a time, but okay, excited to play Team Yankee. Yeah, it's cool. That's really cool. I'm excited to hear about it. Chance to say it since you're off. Yeah. Hey TPD, or not TPD. You're saying hey TPD. Hey John Lockridge, how you doing? Yes, there is a new knight. The Knight Derriere, or whatever it's called. The Destier is a. How do you pronounce that? Can you guys tell me how you pronounce that word? Knight Destroyer. Is that how you pronounce it? Destroyer. It's just spelled I-E-R. What do you guys think? I like it. I like the look of the like the 30k knights. It was like the Castigator and the Lancer, or whatever they are. So naturally, I like the design of this one. Destrier. Sure. The Destrier. They should have put a thing on like how to pronounce that word when they announced the mini. Looks cool though. Happy for the Knight fans. I'm glad people are getting releases like new minis. Or Drukhari are just getting recalls. That's all they're getting. Very excited for the AdMech minis they announced. Yeah, they look pretty good. Yeah. A little more tame. It's actually surprising that they made some Mechanica minis as tame as they did. Well, that's good. Now, if you guys saw, I posted in the News and Rumors channel in the Discord the tease, the GW tease about Dark Mechanicum. Look at that photo that I posted. Telling you guys, it's gonna happen. So the Knights are sick on this model. Yeah, it's got cool different helmets. Yeah, they're really going for the knightly theme, right? Rosa being young, no partner, and having money all those years ago. Yeah, you got 3 Forge World Knights, Lancer, Cascade, and Akron. Dang, yeah. I didn't have any money before I was married, so. They're 40k, which is always tame. Yeah. I mean, some of the 40k AdMech minis are kind of like really over the top and goofy. And I feel like these are just like cyborgs with guns. And it seems really tame compared to any kind of AdMech stuff. The 30k Mechanicum is very like body horror. And its themes. On the other hand, half those comic trolls they announced are yeah, they're bad. Yeah, I've heard the the consensus on the Night Lord's combat patrols. It has a lot of points of stuff, so if you're just collecting minis, it's a good set. But yeah, as far as like a thematic box, it's not very good. I do like how they put the kill team in there, so you get all those like upgrade bits, which is cool. So the idea is you use it for the whole set. I like that a lot. It's like what they do with the Loyalist Marine sets, right? Just toss in some upgrade sprues. I think that's cool. Love the body horror stuff for Mechanicum. Yeah, yeah. Dark Mangos looks cool. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I rode 8 miles on a exercise bike this morning, and then I worked out. Gotta save my knees. I can't be running on a treadmill. Wouldn't be able to walk for 3 days if I tried to run like that on a treadmill right now. So notice they're putting vehicles back in the boxes. Yeah, the rhinos. Gotta get the old rhinos out the door. They're gonna release new rhinos in 11th edition, so they gotta sell the old ones. I mean, I'm excited. I have a couple predators to paint for my Thousand Sons. I'm pumped. I am really pumped. And then, yeah, I have some other good minis to paint too. Like, I'm excited to get back into painting for my Thousand Sons. I do have to say my entire display shelf I have has no more room. So what I have to start doing with my display shelf, it currently has my Thousand Sons, my Prospering Spire Guard, which are my Thousand Sons adjacent Solar Auxilia, and it has my militia, my Prospering Militia, which are my Thousand Sons adjacent militia. And I think the militia are going to have to start being pulled down from the display shelf, so I have room for things. Or, you know, maybe I just keep things in my carry case and the shelf just stays full. But it was the Saturnine Termes I painted, and the Breachers did it. That was too much. So it is a 5-shelf display shelf, and all 5 shelves are taken. The bottom 2 shelves are just Solar and Militia, but the top 3 are all Thousand Sons, and it's spent. You know, my first solution is honestly another display shelf. My wife doesn't like that because that shelf is actually in our living room. So yeah, I keep my miniatures on display in my living room. You know, I'm doing that. But she doesn't want to, you know, sacrifice the unimportant things like the TV to display my minis, which I think is ridiculous. We can sit and stare at the Thousand Sons. We don't have to watch TV. I need some more black wash in here. All tagging me. Cool. Okay. All right, let me keep moving. So what are you guys up to? You made anything fun? Guys hobbying? I have a heresy game this evening. Cultured American, welcome in. So I made what I felt like is a very thematic list. Yeah, I'm excited to try it out. It's by no means a powerful list, but maybe it'll win, maybe not. Should be fun though. And try out the new missions. Today, and then I overslept, and I'm just kind of floundering. Yeah, I get that. What I will tell you, Wondering Picked, is that if you have the time, just get up and go do it. That's how you get started. Yeah, just do the thing, and you'll be happy you did. This list will win. Is always no when you say maybe this list will win. Yeah. What we're doing, we're messing around. There's new scenarios in the journal, the newest journal that just came out, and they're called like relic hunt scenarios. So they're like Mechanicum themed, right? Like looking for artifacts and stuff. So I made a list that is in the theme of looking for like treasure hunting or going on adventures or whatever, like kind of being away from the main force. So, hey, welcome in. How are you doing? How do you pronounce that? Me to the Illa. So that's what I'm getting there. Welcome in though. Yeah, my list is very much, yeah, it's like fast things, lots of mechanized, which is good in the game. Mechanized things are good in the game, so, you know, that's going for me. But then, you know, I'm not taking any Terminators or Dreadnoughts. I wanted to take, like, recon units, which I only have 5 recon Marines, so I'm bringing my 5 recon Marines. I'm taking, all the tanks I'm taking are fast. I'm even taking the Land Raider Explorator, which is like a recon version of a Land Raider. Because that's kind of the theme I'm going for, so that's what I'm doing. And my idea is that, like, this is like a, you know, I don't know, some kind of strike cruiser worth of 1,000 suns, and Magnus sent them out to go find items of interest, and so that's their whole goal. And they're led by a praetor, or a captain. Yeah, and they're searching for forbidden knowledge. And with them, I have I normally don't bring these, but I have a librarian, because it's on theme. I think he's like divination is like one of his powers, so, you know, he's kind of looking into the future and figuring out what's going on. And then I have a prospering sorcerer, because that also seems appropriate. It's a 1,000 suns unique wizard, and a centurion. And I also have a numerologist. A numerologist is like, it's essentially a 1,000 suns tech marine, but their whole thing is like divining the future by looking at, you know, numbers and stuff. So They kind of have my lore in my head is they all have kind of like a council, and they're all like trying to find these artifacts, and they all kind of work together, and they're kind of leading the expedition to find the forbidden knowledge, and then we come across it. And my opponent is playing Mechanicum, which is appropriate for a relic hunt mission. Okay. Tech priests do love relics, so yeah, it's like we both find it, and the artifacts or whatever, and those books are over there, and you know, we both want them for different reasons, and obviously we don't want the other faction to get them, so we got to fight about it. Just give that a quick wash. And then we're going to give all this black wash some time to dry. I'm going to finish a couple base colors on these steel jacks. But yeah, I also did play a game of Middle-earth SPG yesterday. I was playing with the one and only Killicam. We were practicing, doing some tournament practice again, getting ready and learning this edition. We have access to the matched playbook, which the way GW sells the matched playbook for Middle-earth is a scam. It has got to be their worst decision with that game. It is a direct from GW online only purchase for like missions, which is crazy to me that they did that. But regardless, we have all the missions, and we decided just to randomize them. And the mission we randomized into was probably the worst mission for both of us, and it was really funny. So we just kind of floundered with our lists and stuff, and we basically learned like, hey, that's a mission we veto when it comes to it. Was it Pirate that controlled the robots? It was, yeah. And you know, after I made the list, I kind of regretted not bringing. I didn't bring any of my my Castle Exekia, but that would have been legit. Like just having a like a Centurion running around and like with like a tactical squad, and his job was just to control those. That would be cool. Yeah, it would have been really cool. But alas, I totally forgot about those when I was making the list, and I filled out with like some really cool stuff. So I'm not at all unhappy with the list I have, and I wanted to keep like fast things. So Castellax would definitely be something. And another thing that would be great for an expedition themed list are like Auxilia. So Solar Auxilia, because truly if it's like a side mission, you would be like it would be cool to have like minimum Thousand Sons leading the expedition, but the bulk of their force are just like regular humans, because they don't matter and they can do whatever, where the Thousand Sons need to be important places. The Castellax are, yeah, they're pretty good in third. They don't do any damage, they're really expensive, and they're not incredibly durable, but they do have a function, and that function is absorbing perils of the warp. So whenever a unit in your army perils, if they're close to one of those robots, the robot will absorb it for them, which is really nice. So, and it might die from that, but even if it dies, it's still saving the lives of the actual Marines, right? I think one of them is a decent idea. The biggest issue with those, from a gameplay perspective, is the unit type. They are a support unit type, and Thousand Sons, in my opinion, love support units. They like, yeah, I would take at least 2 or 3 support detachments in a given like 3,000 point army you know, and to fill out with just like just great units that do all my damage for my army. And the fact that they take up those slots is kind of a detriment to them, because they're definitely not the most optimal unit to put in that slot, and you can't bring squads of them. If you could bring multiples in a squad, then yes, I would probably bring them every game, and I'd probably bring a squad of 2 or 3 and have them, but they're only in individuals. That's really disappointing with that. Good issues with Darkfire cannons? Oh, okay. They're just like facing off against them. Squishy. Darkfire cannons used to be like one of the most disgusting anti-tank guns in the game, and I don't think they're quite as good anymore. But Mechanicum can bring them in numbers, so that makes them a threat. An Iron Hands Saturnine Dread. Yeah, that's a tough kill. Anyway, yeah. You know, the one army with good tools to kill Iron Hands, tough Iron Hands units, and Salamanders are similar, because they have kind of similar craziness, are Thousand Suns. Because if you're playing optimally, your strategy is go for as many rending shots as you can. And rending is auto wounds on hits, kind of like lethal hits in 40k. So you're just bypassing their toughness, which is the issue with those units. Rending is better than lethal hits, though, because when you trigger rending in 30k, it counts as a 6 to wound, which means if you also have breaching, basically becomes AP2. All those rending hits are just AP2 wounds you automatically put down. So it is pretty easy for Thousand Suns units to one-shot Saturnine Dreads, even if they are Iron Hands. Let's get a smaller brush. Slightly smaller one. Go through the little icons. Legs, arm, and body. These don't have a lot of them, but okay, just there. Just there on you, yeah. What about you? What you got? What you got? Nothing? Nothing? Okay, we'll come back to you with something else then. This guy has anything there, otherwise doesn't have anything. We're gonna do their swords really cool, I think. Okay, so it really is just one of these sculpts that has these. It's the Terminators that have a lot more of them. Yeah, Saturnine Dreads are tough, though. Let's see, what else? Getting here. Piece. Okay. Dread didn't do much, but it looks scary. Yeah, yeah. That's definitely one of those. Like, I have personally not felt that Saturnine Dreads do a whole lot. In my, I've had a couple games with them. So I feel like if I go against them, I won't be too scared of them. Of course, if I get the chance, I'm going to put shots into them to kill them, but otherwise, I think there's a lot of other things that are bigger threats to an army. What makes them really scary is the inversion beamer is the gun that's really good on them. Other thing, this guy, let's see. Okay, the knife holsters are silver, so we'll need to get some silver back. I'll do silver here, but the remember the grav cannon mulched everything I had. Oh, that sounds cool though. Yeah. I didn't think the grav cannon was the best on there, but maybe I need to look at that again. Kind of get an idea. Okay, next thing, we go for some burnt red. I want to feel just like a legion of Predator tanks. That's one of my goals. Because they're so cheap. Cheap points wise, not dollar wise. Dollar wise, they're kind of expensive. Now with this. Yeah, the new Myrmidons are amazing. Yeah. It's funny they released the ones they did first, because the Myrmidon Destructors are like notably worse than the other ones. The Secutors, I think, is what they're called. GW knows. They know which ones people want. That said, the minis are gorgeous, though. Just pure wins from Mechanicum. Hey there, Fulton. Welcome in. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. Bit tired, but otherwise I'm doing well. I cannot complain. about today. It's been a good day. Try to finish up some Votan, and we're doing a mini giveaway this week, guys. I don't know if anyone was here Sunday night and can remember we were assembling the mini to give it away this Thursday, but I'm looking forward to it. It's something a lot different. I have never painted a mini from this line before, and neither have any of you. The mini I'm painting and giving away this Thursday is, I believe his name is Zeratul. He is one of the main characters in StarCraft. And someone very generously gave me one of his minis for the new StarCraft miniature game to do with how I please. And I chose to do a giveaway with it. So we're gonna paint it and give it away. The game isn't out yet, so it's coming out, I think in March is when it officially releases. Maybe end of March or so. Come out StarCraft minigame. Yeah. The overall like art style of StarCraft does not appeal to me. I do like this mini that I'm painting though. So it is a very cool mini. And the color scheme, I'm just gonna paint it kind of like the box art. The color scheme looks great on it. I think the color scheme is very cool. So it's lots of blue, green, and purple, with like a little bit of gold in there. Be really nice. Humans in big suits don't appeal to you. Yeah, it's not the, like, if you break it down into one sentence, like, it doesn't make any sense, right? But nothing in StarCraft is like sleek looking. It's all like super over exaggerated, which is like a very Blizzard art style. Like Warcraft is the same way. Like everybody just has huge wide shoulders and like oversized everything in the game. And you know, when it's obviously it's made for an RTS, so like you want to see these units from afar and understand what they are. But they translate that into a miniature game where everything is still the same scale, and it's someone time this man out. This is like my talking to my 9-year-old. Jeez. Well, you said you like ice cream, and ice cream is just frozen things, and so you don't like to eat frozen fish raw. What's wrong with you? It's still a frozen thing. Yep. Hey, Eo, what's going on? What's going on, Eo? Where am I looking? And whips? Okay, nice. Check it out, dude. How's your day been, Eo? What is Eoraptor working on? Oh, he's got lava bases. Nice. Those look great. Those look really cool, Eo. Very nicely done. Now, did you gloss varnish those before you put the crackle paint on? Your crackle effect is really good on those, I have to say. And I have done crackle effects a lot. And I think it was at like the very end of the, well, I don't know, one of the last times I used crackle paint, I used the gloss varnish and it turned out really well. Glad. Looking forward to a 4-day weekend. That sounds really nice. Very nice. You use thinned PVA glue. Oh, okay. Your little Borg robots look awesome too. Very nice. Love it. I like the Tech Priest mini in that set. And I'm a big fan of gun servitors. I always liked gun servitors. Makes it like the classic Tech Marine box from years past. T-Mist. How are you doing, T-Mist? I see you got a little watch streak going on. What's going on? How have you been? Make sure we have some of these silver elements painted silver. About a lot of these minis. I think the Commander's the one that we need to look at the most. Those are finished. The box is all done. You start your Lizardman. Very nice. And you have to get those done for a league, right? Is it a league or just a tournament that you're doing? I can't remember what. I know you had some tournaments you were listing. Good. That's good. It's a 2-day tournament. Nice. That's exciting. You getting some practice in? Or are you just gonna wing it? Show up day of, not knowing the rules, play 6 games, win, go home, never play again. This is what's gonna happen. Test matches, yeah, it's a good at your dealer's place, your dealer. not mincing words at all. Jeez. Appropriate though. I can respect the terminology. Hobby store. That was auto miscorrect? Yeah, I don't believe that. There we got some things painted. Cool. So we're gonna try to do like orange kind of glow on the blades. Should be fun. We'll see if we can do something that looks pretty decent. And then what I need to do last but not least here. I think it's the blades that'll bring all these together. Really tie them all in. All right. Rough color scheme, orange skin, black scales. Oh, okay, okay. You're going full Patriot here, aren't you? Just the Netherlands Lizardmen. That's good color scheme, though. What kind of basing you gonna do for that? What am I looking for? I just put the colorway I was looking for. That's what I did. Okay. Lizardmen always seemed like the most fun army to paint. Back in my Warhammer Fantasy days, it was always if there was just like one army that I just picked purely just out of the enjoyment of painting it, it probably would have been Lizardmen. Because I think the organic skin is easier to paint than like the Bretonnian livery and everything. Like that just seems like a tedious amount of work. Yeah, if you do contrast paint, yeah, it lends itself well to contrast paint. I mean, in my Warhammer Fantasy days, that was before contrast paint was ever a thing, but yeah, that point does stand, though. Just like how you get to have fun with bright colors and do all the cool stuff, right? All the fun colors in your army, but then they can look really good. A 50-50 mix of Seraphim Sepia and Flow Improver. The washing on these, we just jump right into the highlights on the vehicles and the artillery. And then on these guys, hopefully they're dry when we're getting through the first color or so. And we just go for it. Be great. Scissors are wearing clothes as well. Oh, are they? Oh, yeah, that's too bad. Kind of self-respecting Lizardman wears clothes. There's another color I need here. Just a little one, but I need some burgundy. Alright, Wandering Pig, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the sub. 1 second, guys. Alright. Back to the wash. I think the highlights will go pretty quick on these minis. They don't have tons of colors on them, like different colors. We can take some time and have some fun on the swords and everything. Good morning, Jaded Valkyrie. How are you doing? Going on right there. Okay. Next one. Glad you're doing well. I'm doing well too. Cardio this morning and everything. Nice. Very nice. Does sound like a good start to the week. I did cardio this morning as well. I don't usually like cardio, but I think in my routine, I ride an exercise bike, And I typically have some kind of good YouTube video or episode of a TV show I turn on. And my bike ride's 25 minutes, and that's usually about the length of whatever, so it works out. Just keep myself distracted. Fighting work? Yeah. That's too bad. Perfectly timed. A couple parks nearby. You walk and hike about usually 1-2 hours. That sounds amazing. Yeah. That sounds way better than than what I do. That's cool. Okay, we got 3 of those done. You get bored to tears in gym cardio. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it is boring. It is boring. But, you know, like I said, yeah, I have one, there's one, like, YouTuber who will streams 3 or 4 nights a week, just playing, like, random, like, RTS games and stuff that I watch, and so I've been watching this dude for years, and, I'll go through VODs of his, like, throughout the week, and so that's a good time to, like, catch up. Like, I just get a good, like, 25 or 27 minutes or whatever, just chilling and yeah, watching some kind of stream. He's playing Beyond All Reason right now, which is not a game I would play, but it's fun to watch. It's great that it works. Yeah, definitely. When I started doing cardio at the gym, I was going to alternate. I was like, I'll do the bike one day of my cardio, and I'll do the an elliptical machine the next. And I tried the elliptical, and it destroyed me. I didn't realize it was so hard. It's just like constant, like, knee workout the whole time. Yeah, it doesn't look hard, right? Yeah, that's the whole thing, was like, oh yeah, this will be like an easier than running kind of activity, so I'm not just destroying my knees, because I know like a treadmill or just like, dedicated running will kill my knees. But yeah, and then I tried the elliptical, and like I couldn't make it 10 minutes on the elliptical machine. I was like, this is a nightmare. Plus I've got is an under desk treadmill that rigged my desk so my PC was high enough so I could play video games. That's legit. Yeah, there you go. That's cool. Dad goes to gym, discovers his age. Exactly, Blue. That's what it is, man. No, so I had a moment a couple years ago. I had some friends that were doing a 5K for a charity, and they asked me to do it with them, and I was like, yeah, sure. It's in 4 months or whatever. I'm gonna do a couch to 5K. Like, I'm gonna do one of those workouts, and And I'm gonna like start, like start running. That'll be good for me that I can do this. I can do this charity. It'll be great. So I start doing the Couch to 5K program, and I'm really liking it. Like I'm getting a lot done. Well, after like 2 weeks of starting this, maybe 2.5 weeks or something, my knees just start to hurt, and like the pain doesn't go away. And so I spent like maybe 2 more weeks just running through the pain in my knees, and like no amount of like stretching or whatever at that point would fix it. And so I took a break, and it was like another 2 weeks and my knees still hurt after that. And I basically figured out it's like runner's knee, right? Like where as you get older, all right, this is why stretching is important. You have to stretch, especially if you're just starting to run, because when you overdo it, like your body just, yeah, it'll just destroy you. So I learned that when I exercise and do a lot of like running or whatever, I have to ice and stretch a lot to kind of stave off that. But I was doing that. And I ended up not being able to like run on this 5K because my knees were so bad. I couldn't do my Couch to 5K. I walked it. I walked the 5K. That's what I did. But lifting, I think I busted my tendon in my right arm. Dang, my recovery. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah. What's going on, T-Slayer? How you doing? Yeah, and I worked in a warehouse for years. And like on like reach trucks and forklifts and everything, and that destroys your neck. So I've had neck problems ever since I worked at that place. Just the constant like looking straight up, looking straight down, for as weird as it is, like back and forth, like dramatically, like driving a reach truck, just kills your neck. So I've been going to the gym regularly for over a year now, and I was lifting 3 days a week. Now I'm lifting 5 days a week, and I still will just do something random and just like strain a muscle in my back. Plantar fasciitis? I'm not sure what that is. That sounds like it's not fun though. But yeah, so I've been dealing with my back kind of hurting, so I gotta make sure I don't overdo it. And I also hear horror stories of people, oh yeah, I tried to find out what my max was on this machine, and then I messed up my back and I can't lift. Like, I don't care what my max is. I'll be frank with you. Anyone ever asked me what my max on some machine is, I have no idea. And may never know. I'm going to be like Unbreakable, right? Like Bruce Willis. I just never max out on machines. Not because we keep adding weight, but just because I'm too scared to hurt myself to find out. Size 10 in your foot. So is that like, does it cause pain in like your Achilles tendon or what? Sinbad, welcome in. How you doing? I had an issue when I was growing up. So I was like middle school age. It's like 12, 13, and I played football. And I was pretty decent for a 12, 13-year-old at football. And I was like wide receiver and everything, and whatever. I was enjoying football. Well, as I was playing more and more, it's the bottom of the foot. Okay. My Achilles tendon would just get shooting pain like every day. And we went to the doctor, and he basically said like I had an issue with my Achilles tendon. I don't remember if they actually gave me a diagnosis or it was just, like, hey, take it easy. And so like I struggled through the rest of that football season, and I was just kind of done playing football. And I don't think I ever played any more sports after that. I was too scared about hurting my foot. I was like, I don't want to mess with your Achilles tendon. Sinbad, I recognize your name. Have you commented on a YouTube video? Is that where I recognize your name? Or I'm trying to think. It says your first time in Twitch. Welcome in, regardless. Good to have you in here. Similar issue. The tendon is too tight. It'll cause pain when you stretch it. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, if you're running, you're just constantly stretching it, right? Just that movement. Yeah, it's miserable. Stinks, dude. Okay, okay. Hey, well, I know you from something. I recognize the name. Well, welcome in. What kind of games you play, Sinbad? You in the hobby? You play any games like Warhammer or Trench Crusade is popular, or what else we got going on? There's someone I don't know if Quishy's still here, but he was painting Team Yankees stuff. It's pretty cool. First dozen steps of the day is like walking on nails. Dang. Okay. Okay. $40K Mass Effect, Space Marine 2, and Monster Hunter games. Okay, nice, nice. I have Space Marine 2. I've actually never played Mass Effect. I do own. I played like Knights of the Old Republic and Dragon Age and stuff, because that was all BioWare, right? But I never played Mass Effect. I think it had a relatively narrow window of like those kind of that similar vein that I was really into. Mass Effect still holds up. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. Okay, there's a little bit of paint. That's what I need. Sinbad, you looking forward to the 40K Total War? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anybody? Come on. Please clap. Somebody. Thank you. Thank you, Jaded Valkyrie. There we go. Alright, people excited for Total War Warhammer 40K. That's what we need. I saw, does anybody here play Battle Sector? 40K Battle Sector? It's like turn-based 40K game. Kind of XCOM-ish, but you build armies, so it's probably the closest you get to playing like 40K proper in a PC game at this point. They just added, or they're adding, new DLC, and it's the Black Legion. It's Chaos Space Marines. PC that can run. I'll be more excited. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that game's gonna have some hefty requirements. I might have to invest. Last time I put a bunch of money into my computer was when Total War Warhammer 3 came out. So I guess it's just tradition at this point. Yeah, it's cool for Battle Sector though. They have quite a few factions. I think Astra Militarum was the last faction that came out, but they also have like Demons, Orcs, Sisters of Battle, Necrons, Space Marines, or it's Blood Angels specifically. Tyranids. Yeah, Tyranids like the main faction. Yeah, so they got a lot for that game. Yeah, it's basically just it's XCOM but like scaled up to like 40k battle size. And yeah, the battles are points based, so you can play a 2,000 point battle or a 3,000 point battle, and yeah, that's what you do. All right, let's blackwash out. Let's start on this. Love to see a 40k role-playing game. Remember any available factions and rise through the ranks, kind of like Dragon Age. Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a big game though. That's a really big game to make. I know there's Rogue Trader and Dark Heresy is the one that's coming out, I think. Those might be the closest we're gonna get for a while. What's up, Star Laser? How you doing? But those games have different units. I think one of the Rogue Trader games, the Rogue Trader game, you can get like a Space Wolf in your party, and there's like Xenos, like a Kroot or something in your party, and there's different things like that that make it, I guess, a little more customizable. Classic like MMO style. There was almost a 40k MMO, guys. Almost. It was called Eternal Crusade. And that game had the craziest ambition. And just never realized. It just floundered for years until they canceled it. Get that sword here in a few minutes. But that was supposed to be a giant like realm versus realm 40k game. Yeah, Garrus Knight is correct. Yeah, 40k Total War will be lots of RPG elements as far as customizing characters and factions. And from what it looks like with what they've shown on 40k Total War, the previews, the equipment you choose will be shown on your character. So Total War Warhammer does not do that. That's a new feature for 40k. So it's going to be very sandboxy, which is good. So that's the kind of thing we want in these games, right? Although I think you can still choose to play as like Ultramarines with Marneus Calgar as your character, as your main guy as well. Head out. About to arrive at a dealership for Truck Point. Alright, Sinbad, you have a great one. Thanks for stopping in and chatting. Hopefully I see you sometime soon. Hope your truck's feeling better. Yeah, there was a 40k MMO called Eternal Crusade, and how it was supposed to work was you pick a faction, so let's say Space Marines, and then you pick a class, so Devastator, Tactical, Assault, kind of like classic Space Marine, you know, like just had those three classes. And then you start with basic stuff and you level up. So there's going to be like PvE content, but I think it was mostly going to be focused on PvP and conquering things. You can join groups and like big groups, so you can join, like 10 people for a squad or like multiple squads in a big group, kind of like PlanetSide. And as you level up, you gain a lot of stuff and you can kind of subclass. So you could subclass into like a librarian or a tech marine or something like that. There were vehicles in the game that you could get. So if you wanted to drive around in a predator tank or a rhino or something, you could do that. And that was the game, and it ultimately would be like, um, you know, conquer these different territories or continents or whatever, and you work together and I guess a little bit like PlanetSide. If anyone here ever played PlanetSide or PlanetSide 2, it would work like that, but with 40K, which is incredible. It's like a dream game. But yeah, they apparently wanted way too much money, and whatever publisher was funding them decided not to fund them the money they needed. And so they turned it into just like this. It ended up just being pretty much like a demo for a long time. Yeah, PlanetSide 2 is still going, yeah. I had a good like year playing that game. That was wild. Is it nearly dead? Yeah, it's too bad. The developer was bought by a private equity company. And when that happened, I figured that game would be dead like soon after, but it's still kicking like 10 years later. Some of my best gaming moments, period, were in PlanetSide 2. That game was wild. Just 1,500 people in a server. Just absolutely crazy. And just 3 sides, and you just have these giant battles. I joined an outfit. It's like a guild, but they called them outfits because it's cool. That was all about like, I guess it was more like a role playing, like a more serious game. So it was like trying to be like real world tactics and PlanetSide, and not just like goofing around kind of thing. So we would do like quote unquote raid nights or whatever, where we'd get on and we'd have a full platoon of 40 people. No, was it 48? It was squads of 12, and you could have 4 squads in a platoon. And we'd run around, there'd be 48 of us. And you have your squad leaders, and you had like the overall platoon leader. And we would find places, and a lot of times we would airdrop into, we'd find a big battle, we'd airdrop right in the middle of it and try to like take and hold a point and like take it for our team. And it was cool, like the crazy amount of coordination that it takes to accomplish things in that game was wonderful. Amazing game. I never played the original. No, I didn't hear about the game until the second one came out. So I had a great moment that I was messing around that game. One of my more fun moments was I led a squad, and it was just like 4 of us. And for the fun of it, we picked this territory that had all kinds of like enemies just like chilling. And like it was like near a front. It was behind the enemy lines, but it wasn't like the focal point or whatever. It's like, this will be fun. Like 4 of us were gonna take this. So we all played as like the stealth sniper character, which is like different loadouts. And the base was like on the side of a cliff, or like next to a cliff. And yeah, so it was fun. I was trying to coordinate people, and like we put a dude on Overwatch as a sniper, and he was keeping like eyes out for us, and he was killing people. And I remember it took us like half an hour, but we took the point and took the region or whatever, the base and everything, and it was really cool. Just like trying to spec ops through that game, when at any moment like 100 people could just show up and just slaughter you. I'd play a PlanetSide 3 if one came out. But again, private equity company, I doubt they're gonna put anything toward a third one. Yeah, it was a great game. You ever played BattleTech? No, I have not. No. Like specifically miniature game or video game BattleTech? Either way, I've never played anything for BattleTech, but... Just making progress on these minis. There's a reasonable chance I get these done tomorrow between everything going on. Thing that'll probably take me a lot of time that's a little harder to predict are the swords. Getting the glow effect on the swords. The minigame. Started playing the new Alpha Strike rules and it's pretty fun. The Alpha Strike like the smaller games? What's different about Alpha Strike and the classic rules? A bunch of wall-mounted paint storage will be coming today. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I have found in my own life that if I have space on my desk, it inevitably gets filled with stuff. Even if it's not just paints. Do I have too much paint? I refuse to answer. Yeah. Yeah, the little stair racks. Yeah, I've had to be really specific with the paint racks that I buy because I need to, yeah, you want to maximize space with or maximize like slots with minimal space, right? Portion of the mech, like the arm, head, leg. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that BattleTech is a very complex game. That's good. The Alpha Strike rules are less complicated. That's cool. If they're getting more people into the game, then, you know, good for them. Yeah, I've heard stories about BattleTech games where it's like, you have like 5 mechs on each side and people are playing for like 4 hours. That's crazy. Hey, Chris Frozen, thank you for the raid. welcome in, everybody. How are you guys doing? I'm the painting dad. I chill and paint things, and that's pretty much what happens here. I occasionally play a video game or two, and about every week I put out a YouTube video that is not related to painting, but is related to gaming and Horus Heresy. So that's what I do. I do stream on Twitch and YouTube. So guys, give Chris Frozen a follow. Chris is a cool dude. How you doing, Chris? What was on the desk today? What were you working on? Or streaming, I guess. Putting some wash on these steel jacks, and then we're gonna into some highlights on some Votan. Look at me! Oh, hey, where am I looking, Blue? And whips? Alright. One moment. Let me get this guy done and his color done here, and then we'll check out the whips. Is this the aquatic dude you've been working on? The Ogryn? Oh, you need some advice on the work. Okay. You have come to a place. I don't know if it's the best place, but you've come to a place for advice. Yes, but also no. Okay. We'll see. Hey, Raja, what's going on? Well, thanks for the lurk. No problem. I get it. Okay. Cool, sure. Let's take a look. What's Blue got going on? Oh, you got the Kroot Mutant Rat Rider. Very nice. Oh yeah, and then the Bronze Scuba Man himself. Nice. The bronze with the teal is really good looking together. I don't know how the fabric tracks. So you're talking about the fabric on the giant rat? Is that what you're talking about here? On the right. Okay. I really like the fabric. I think it works as fabric. I think the reason it doesn't look like fabric now is because it looks like putty, because it's like yellow on a gray mini, right? Like I think if you paint that, I think it's gonna look just fine as fabric. Yeah, especially once you get like you're gonna put a Kroot mini on top of that, and he's gonna have things going on. I think, yeah, I think it'll look good. I don't know if there is a sculptor in here that wants to check out and give some advice. 'Cause I also feel like I could not do that. Like I don't have the skill to make that kind of fabric with green stuff, so. I don't know if my opinion is the best here. You Kibash train out of junk, you look at it and think, what am I doing? And then you probably, yeah, you ever see those people that use like soda cans, to make like 40k terrain? Like that's nonsense. You're just gluing garbage to a base and then they paint it and you're like, I can't see the can anymore. That kind of stuff. That. Okay, let's get this hand here. Glossiness throws it off. Yeah. Hey, Sith Ice, how are you doing? Welcome in. Giveaway Games Workshop. Yeah, Combat Patrol, or 2 Combat Patrols, and the Titus and the Huron box set. Yeah. It's a pretty tame giveaway.
It's cold.
All things said and done.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
Alright, absolutely I will stretch and hydrate. Got one more of these guys to put a wash, so. Sith Ice, you're chilling on YouTube and Twitch. Welcome in. Some delicious H2O. One second, I'll get a stretch. Oh yeah, it's good. It's a good stretch. Sorry if you guys hear all my joints popping. Watch show with the wife. Alright, Misfit, have a good one. Enjoy the show. It's a small giveaway for a multi-million-dollar company, yeah. Yeah. That's true. I mean, I don't know. I wonder, like, why they're doing that. It's kind of a weird one. I don't know if there's just like some like, oh no, we're $1,000 off of the next like tax benefit. Quick, donate some sets. You know, do a giveaway or whatever. Like, is that the thing? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. It's just something. It's free to enter. No skin off my back for signing up for their emails that I'm already signed up for. So it's cool. If I win it, I win it. I would like Captain Titus mini, and I like his crew. Not as much of a fan of the Huron Blackheart mini, but you know, I don't mind a few extra Space Marines. Bad for them to give away a box of most other things. Do it early and often. Yeah, that'd be nice if they did like a once-a-month giveaway like that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, like if this is just becoming a more regular thing. Yeah, head swap for Blackheart. Yeah, that's the first thing to do. I cannot stand the face on that mini. Sorry, Huron Blackheart. I know you were shot by a melta gun, but still, it's tough to look at. You have to do super well or deal with the derp, yeah. If that's the case, I don't feel like GW did it too well, because I mean, I really don't like it. I don't think they did a good job on it. A little more black wash here. He's tough to look at because he's a space wolf. I win by some miracle. I can sell the hero boxes. I'm not really interested in either. Or maybe do a head swap, fancy new backpack on here and use it as a custom champion for Iron Warriors. Yeah. Kit bashing is nice. Doesn't feel as bad to kit bash when you didn't buy the kit, right? When you just got the stuff for free. Yeah, selling it or giving it away or, you know, to someone all seem like pretty reasonable things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would never buy that Combat Patrol box, but well, that's the one with all. It just has the starter box content, isn't it? It's not even like the Ultramarines one. Yeah, I don't want more Infernus Marines. You didn't drill, but give me a break, dude. Chill. I'll drill him. I tend to completely forget about drilling barrels until the very end. I just do a little boop and drill the barrels. Judging me here. You track different types of Marines these days. That's fair, yeah. There's 1,000 different units. I mean, I play Heresy and I keep track of all those different Marines, you know. Despoilers and Seekers and Recon and Scouts and Assault Marines and yeah, Destroyers and yeah, just all of those. Like I can do that. So if I were more interested, maybe it would be such a chore. Terminator Captain, the Librarian, 5 mon. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's garbage. Yeah. I bought Leviathan 3 years ago. I don't need that Combat Patrol. It's too bad. Yeah, I'd grab it and sell it. give it away. I'd paint it like something and give it away. You built none of Leviathan. Yeah. Leviathan to me was a little bit of a letdown as far as the starter set goes. I thought I was going to really like the Tyranids, and I just never painted them. I painted like 4 Tyranids out of the box. That's all I ever did. I just really didn't enjoy them. Not you. Sold out by the time you had the money, yeah. You know, for me it was a business purchase, so had to get it. Yeah, I wonder if I'm going to be the same way with 11th edition. I've been kind of down on 40k since like a year into 10th, and I really cared for it. And like I could get it. I could get the set, you know, and just kind of roll with it, right? But also I could just use that on stuff that I'm actually like wanting to use and play. Because I know this summer there's going to be big things coming out for other games, and I play a lot of GW games, just don't play 40k or Age of Sigmar. So those look kind of meh to me. Yeah. Compared to Leviathan, really. I think the contents, I don't know. They seem comparable to Leviathan. Indominus was definitely, was a solid set. Indominus was one of the best 40k starters they've come out with. I do think that the best starter set GW ever made was the 2nd edition, the Age of Darkness box. The Heresy box with the Mark 6 Marines. That set had everything. And it was literally a 2,000 point army, a well-balanced 2,000 point army, in a $300 retail package. Crazy good value. The older cheap, yeah. I miss when this hobby was cheaper too, but yeah, like the 5th edition starter was like $50-$60. And that starter was incredible. That was one that should have stuck around for a long time. Wish I would have bought like 4 of those. A $50 Marine Start Collecting box in 2019? Okay, yeah, well. Yeah, the 5th edition starter was the last starter set with orcs. And YouTube karate chops me, I think, if I say this, because the combination of words that it's called. But it's about a planet called Black Reach. But it had, let me see if I can remember this correctly, it had a captain. It had 10 tactical marines. They're monopose. Everything in here is monopose. 5 terminators, a dreadnought, and that was it for the Space Marine side. The orcs had 20 orc sluggaboys, 5 knobs, a war boss, 3 Deffkoptas. Did it have something else? It may have had something else in there for the orcs. But all of that was $60 and a rulebook. And they used to do the starter sets, instead of coming with a full-size rulebook, it came with these little mini rulebooks that didn't have any lore in them or anything. They just had the rules. So those are they were like traveling rulebooks, basically. Yeah, it was the only way to get the Def Captain model, yeah. I don't mind a new Jump Chaplain. The old metal Jump Chaplain was one of my favorite minis ever. And more intercessors are fine. Yeah, I don't mind the marine side of this box content, honestly. Like an ancient is whatever, another librarian, okay. I have like 4 librarians at this point. They just keep putting them in boxes, but yeah. New new intercessors. And the orc side is that's quite a bit as well. Yeah, Landspeeder does. Yeah. Wasn't there a Landspeeder, and was it 8th edition that had a Landspeeder as the centerpiece or something? I have it. Okay, I'd have to do some digging to find it. 3rd edition had a Landspeeder as a. Okay. Stupid YouTube. I don't want YouTube. Oh, it had Inceptors and it had the Blight drone, right? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, GW loves selling Landspeeders for some reason. Okay, let's do a little bit more here, a little bit more brown. Yeah, I like Landspeeders. I'm hoping Heresy gets some Landspeeders in plastic, because yeah, we don't have any. But I would like some. Excuse me. Yeah, the Orc half is Warboss, Boss Knob, Banner Knob, Pain Boy, Weird Boy, 20 Orc Boys, some new Gretchen, a War Truck, and new Daka Death Dread. Yeah, that's a good half. That's a good starter set. I think what I read was the Intercessors and the Orc Boys that are coming in the set are not like monopose, that they have options. Which I don't know if I believe that or not. That's hard to believe, but not being monopose would be a big deal. The Orc set does seem more spammable though. Like if you want multiples, because you want like Orc Boys and Gretchen and stuff and trucks and all that. The Marine half sounds worse. Oh, okay. The Gravis unit's supposed to be like heavy bolters or something, isn't it? Heavy bolter Marines. Alright. Start getting some. I think your boys can be built full melee or full ranged. I hope so. Yeah, I know. I think even GW realized how much that new Orc Boys box sucked. So hopefully there's a bit of a correction. Change coming for Orc Boys. We'll make your character one mod. Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows what's happening with the new edition too, right? Like, how characters joining units is going to work, if they're still going to have characters joining units. You want the free war gear? I don't think I have ever heard someone say that they actually like the free war gear. I really don't. From like a hobby perspective and from a balance perspective, I think it's bad. I think it leaves open too many like I think this happened a lot in 10th where a certain loadout for a unit was good. And what GW would do, the rules designers, they would nerf the entire unit because it was that, or the unit just stays good. And so then you couldn't bring like the worst weapons. You weren't able to do that. It had to be, it was like an all or nothing, and I don't like that. I like having the options, but yeah, like think of like the poor like aggressors, right? Space Marine aggressors. They had one loadout with Space Marines with like Ultramarines that were really busted with the bolters and the frag launchers. And so they kept getting points raises and ability nerfs and all this stuff. But the real issue wasn't the aggressors. It was like the one weapon and how it interacted with stuff. If you take them with the flamethrower, they weren't a problem. But then there's no reason to take them with a flamethrower because they're as expensive as the ones with the bolt guns. Boss, be unique for your army. There's going to be one boss and 21 boys. You can also have a Banner Knob, Pain Boy, Weird Boy. Yeah, that's cool. I would like to see 30-man units back in the game, too. They definitely did away with that. I don't know if that was specifically 10th or like 9th edition didn't have them, but... With 30-man units, going to be a pain. They don't simplify it. Something I've noticed that has become more prevalent in GW games is having lots of different weapons in the same squad. Whereas, 10 years ago it was very rare for that to happen, and now it seems much more common. And that's one of the big reasons I think combats take so long is that when you have 8 models and there's 6 different weapons in the unit, you have to sit there and roll multiple pools of dice, explain who's rolling, explain all the things about it. It just takes so much longer. Another thing is rerolls. Having so many rerolls in the game makes the game take longer. As someone who plays 3rd edition Heresy, where there is 0 rerolls in the game, my eyes have been opened. Rerolls take the fun out of games. By stock and dice companies, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, something about playing Heresy with no rerolls, and you get this idea like, you roll your dice, and they don't do what you want them to do, and you just kind of say, well, and you shrug your shoulders and you move on. Like, there's no like, well, maybe I can. What if I just? Oh, I can always do. No, there's none of that. It's you played it, you roll the dice didn't work out, and you're done. And sometimes it goes the other way. We roll the dice and they work, but I think the stats have more meaning when there's less rerolls. And yeah, it makes in my opinion, it cuts so much time down from the games too. Like, Heresy is a complex game, and overall a turn in Heresy takes longer to play than a turn in 40k. But the fact you don't have rerolls means that, like, all that extra time is going toward, like, other things. Darken this red a little bit. We'll see. Adepticon, if we don't get a leak before, but Adepticon is our time. Get our first look at the rules. That means maybe next week we'll start getting teases for Adepticon. Probably do that throughout March. Oh, that's not dry enough. Right. Let's do our bronze while we wait. It's good to be on this step here. Try to finish these this week. And we're doing a giveaway on Thursday, guys. A giveaway. I'm giving away... I'm going to paint... try to finish it in one stream. We'll see if I can. But goal is to finish Mini in one stream and to give it away at the end of stream. It's completely free to enter. You just have to show up and be a follower or a subscriber on YouTube, and then and comment, say hi, tell me how you're doing, something like that, and you'll be entered in. But I'm giving away a StarCraft miniature game character named Zeratul. He's a Protoss character. I'm not super familiar with StarCraft, but I'm going to be giving away that dude. I'm going to paint him and give him away. So he is part of the StarCraft miniature game that's coming out next month. This should be cool. If you're a StarCraft fan, it's the giveaway for you. I noticed this earlier. He's got like a rune on his sword. Just the top. Okay. A couple more of this bronze. We'll come back to the red, and then maybe we'll do some brown. This maybe doesn't have any bronze on it, does it? No. It's a neat model. Which one is that? Oh, the giveaway model. Yeah, it's a cool mini. There's actually two models in the kit. They only gave one base for this box. Apparently they've updated the set where both of the minis have a base now. But there's a clear mini. It's like when he's in stealth mode, you have the clear mini, and I will give the clear mini to the winner if they want it. I'm not going to paint the clear mini, but if it's something you want. Certainly have it. Be very stealthy in full color, yeah. I know some people that'll add like a tint to it. Some kind of transparent blue or something behind it to give it kind of an effect of its own, but not me. Like a cloak that's activated. Yeah. I've seen people do that for different minis. I have done that on. Did I do that? In Star Wars Armada, there are TIE Phantoms as a squadron, and the TIE Phantoms are they're stealth TIEs. Is what they are. They have little cloaking fields, and yeah, you basically paint them like normal TIEs, but you split them down a certain portion, and then you paint the rest of them black, like they're just like fading into space. Which is a cool effect to do. I need to brush here.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Hey Zen, what's going on, dude? 58 months. I've been streaming for almost 5 years. That's crazy. Little scout ties are neat. Yeah, they're cool. They're really tough to use in the game. They were never super popular. They're very much, where like everything had to go right. And you had to be thinking like so far beyond your opponent to get them to work well. What's going on, dude? How you doing? Good. Back from Micro Center. Oh, I need more filming. All right. Okay. Bit of red. That one was a little out of the lines. That's okay though. We can correct it later. I think instead of brown, a couple more like minor colors. I could do orange, and what I could really do is we could pull out some burnt sienna. Let's just go ahead and start this. Okay, a little base coat on the blades. We'll try to make them glowing. Just put hot pink on it, yeah. I was thinking about different colors. I think the orange would be the most interesting and maybe appropriate for them. I did paint the unique character guy, the Tyranid guy for Votan. That was like swallowed a bunch or something. His blade is like pink, like a pinkish purple. No, there's no joking here. Shining You paints. How are you doing, by the way? I also painted an Angron for somebody, and I painted him with, he had a glowing pink sword. Essentially. I mean, it was black, but it had some pink glowing light. There. We'll fix it. Good. Mother and grandmother's birthday today. Oh, that's cool. Happy birthday to them. It's a good day for them. Hoping. I don't know if it's possible. I'm hoping that I can essentially finish these all up tomorrow. Votan minis. Yeah, just running around trying to get stuff. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. What are words of Yoda? Do or do not, there is no try. Yeah. I know. See, Yoda's dead, though. And I'm not. So, put a bunch of her husband's retro gaming stuff. Yeah, you got all that stuff? Okay. Oh, sweet. So you got everything in then. That's awesome. No more orange. That's cool, dude. Are you gonna play it? Are you actually gonna like put in some games and play? I will totally play some SNES with you. I say everything works fine now. Nice. Looks horrendous. I bet it does look horrendous on your TV, yeah. That is sweet though. Like that's really cool. Very kind words, by the way, Zen. I just saw your message, your resub message. I don't see them in my normal chat. I have to look at them over on Twitch. Ditto. Feelings mutual, by the way. Tank in your highlights. Alright, that's actually all the orange on these minis. One more little color. We can do some burgundy stuff here.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, Grim Monkey, welcome. How are you doing?
Look at me!
Where am I looking, Mydrol? Is this more Dark Water? Hue Forge things for someone who won a tournament I ran. Let you 3D print images using transparent. Whoa, that's cool. Okay. Finished. Alright. Sweet. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Finished projects. Oh yeah, the little what are those? Little swamp creatures. Very nice. Getting a feel for this stuff, starting with the quick things first. Yeah, the Mire Kelpies. Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. Doing good. So much saw you paint Votan. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're working on some steel jacks. I have a what is it called? I don't know. I call it the little frog. It looks like a little floating frog, but the Capricus. That's what it is. And then a set of the Earth Shakers, or whatever the artillery piece. That's what I'm working on. So we're just starting on like highlights and stuff. Then I'm thinking I'll finish them tomorrow. But regardless, we're going to be painting something and doing a giveaway on Thursday. So the giveaway is, it's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything to enter, and I will even ship you the mini completely free of charge if you win it. It is, his name, I can't, Zeratul. From the StarCraft miniature game. It's the Protoss character guy, the stealth guy. So I'm going to paint that mini and give it away on Thursday. I try to finish it on Thursday. Send it out soon after, but that's the plan for Thursday. So all you got to do is just be present. Be present, make a comment, say hi in chat, and I know you're here, and you get entered into the giveaway. Okay, so is there one more like little color that I can do? I'll get these bases. Do you play Votan, Grim? Super ratty brush for this. Boxes and boxes. We just need to build and paint. Yeah, they are. They're fairly complex minis to paint compared to quite a bit in the 40k range. I was actually a bit surprised. Yeah, it's just lots of tiny little pieces, lots of like multiple color things. You know, it's hard to. I guess you can, but it's. Most of the color schemes don't just have like one main overall color. It's normally pretty even split between a couple. It makes them take a lot longer to paint. Don't even get me started on the jet bikes. Those minis are just nightmares all around. Tone, let's do a little bright warm gray here. The characters are cool. I like the Terminator minis, or their Terminator equivalent. The Hearthguard, is that what they're called? Sure, these are good looking minis.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, Graham Green, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How are you doing, Graham? All's going well. Very chill here. Yeah. I chill and paint. That's what I do. I will be streaming tomorrow. I normally stream from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 2 p.m. And I'll do a Sunday night stream. Normally around 9 p.m. And I also try to put out a video a week that is completely unrelated to painting on YouTube. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, that'd be great. But it's about I'm like 1,000 Suns dude for 3rd edition Heresy. So I put out videos like guides and stuff on playing them and kind of all their units and stuff. So if that's your jam, that's what I do. Also, I stream on YouTube and Twitch, so my VODs are normally on YouTube after the fact. That's probably the best place to watch them. I don't know, watching VODs on Twitch is always weird. First box of minis ever last night. Continue to watch people hobby before I have the confidence to try myself. Sweet. What did you get? New guy comes in. Yeah, Votate, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah, I've had some difficult experiences painting Votan. But what I can say, if you're a fan of Votan and you want to paint the minis, jump in the Discord and ask me questions when you're about to start. And I can probably answer or give you advice on some like do's and don'ts to make your life not miserable when you're painting these Votan. So, more than happy to answer questions. I love answering questions about hobby stuff in general, but yeah, if you're gonna be getting into those Votan minis, there's some things you need to know. Yeah, guys, let me put this up here. There we go. Link should work. Nightbot's working slow apparently, but if you jump in there and you want to chat, but again, I will be on tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll be continuing with the Votan. We painting them, trying to finish them up with the different highlights and stuff. We got a lot of big colors to highlight, but that'll be cool. Wanted Death Guard Combat Patrol. Game Store didn't have it, so you have Blightlord Terminators. Well, that's a solid start, though. Solid start. I mean, they're units you'll use, so that's fine. And it's not as big of a commitment as far as money goes, if you're not sure, about the hobby and everything. But Death Guard are fun to paint. You get to play with a lot of colors, but you can like kind of maybe cover mistakes easy with washes and stuff on Death Guard. It's kind of a good one to do that. But they're definitely minis I think you can finish in a reasonable time, but then you can really go nuts and make them look really good. But yeah, that's fair, Grim. Yeah, again, ask questions. I will try to answer what I can. We also have not just me, but the entire community. We have over 500 people in this Discord. Ton of super friendly and knowledgeable people. There's also a lot of beginners in the hobby too. So I don't think you would feel out of place if you don't know quite everything that has to do with the hobby. But we have lots of helpful people that are willing to, I guess, probably answer just about any hobby related question you have. But you guys have a wonderful afternoon. I'm going to jump off for today. I'm going to get some other work done. I think I'm going to try to work on that next video and stuff. But we'll be doing stuff. I'll be on tomorrow, 11 a.m. And we'll be back painting more Votan. So, oh yeah, tons of stuff on the Nurgle stuff. Yeah. All right, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.